Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Quentin Young, and today I'll be entertaining you guys with a little story of mine, which I'm pretty excited about because the story happens to be one of my favorite of all time thus far in my life. So, with that being said, I'd like to start out with one of my favorite quotes of all time from the infamous Mr. Walt Disney. And that quote says that all of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And the reason why that quote sticks out to me so much and is a favorite of mine all time is because I'm a firm believer of dreams do come true. If you have a dream and you want that dream, then go after it. If you have the heart, the will, the desire, and a little bit of luck on your side, dreams can come true. And until you pursue it and invest your all into those dreams, you'll never know if they can come true until you try. Growing up, at a very young age, I knew that I was an avid music lover. My mom used to tell me all the time when either Michael Jackson's Thriller or Vanilla Ice Baby would come on, I would run to the TV screen in my diaper, no shirt, and I would stand in front of the TV and I would say, Ice, Ice Baby, Ice, Ice Baby. So at a young age, I knew that I loved music. So as time went on and I became a little older, I started collecting CDs, tapes, and even albums I listened to on my mom's album player. I fell more and more in love with music. So when I got into middle school, it was actually my English teacher who was introducing us to poetry. And at that point in time, I was like, I don't want to do poetry. Poetry sounds boring. Well, as she began to teach us poetry, and she used an example of poetry being music. It was actually a hip hop song she had played for us, and she told us that that was poetry. Well, at that point in time, when I realized that music was poetry and poetry was music, I became even more intrigued. So I began to focus more on poetry. So as time went on, my English teacher in eighth grade taught me how to break down my verses into segments, into four different segments, just as if it was poetry. And once she did that, I began to take off with writing music. So as I got in high school, my mom saw that, this is something that I really wanted to pursue. So she got me all the equipment and all the tools that I needed for me to become successful. I got a computer, I got the computer software, I got a microphone, and of course I had myself for the lyrics. So as time went on, and as my high school years went on, I became better and better, better and better with my lyrics, with my producing, making sure I sounded crisp like a professional track. And by the time my senior year came along, I was a pretty popular basketball player in our area, so I had lots of friends. And they started sharing my music. Everybody started sharing my music. I started getting positive feedback. More people telling me they related to my songs, telling me I was good, telling me I needed to keep pursuing it. So I did. So my senior year, I had the opportunity to do my first show. It was at RT's. That was a club down on the strip at this point in time. And it was a smaller club, and I ended up actually packing it out. I had 350 people show up to my show, which was a big ordeal. I was very proud of that. I was nervous it being my first show, but I absolutely killed it. And when I had the crowd's reaction when I was done, I knew right then and there I wanted to continue to pursue this dream of mine. So, like I said earlier, with a little bit of drive, will, want, and a little bit of luck, dreams can come true. That next year, my first year of college, I ran into a former UT basketball player by the name of Ronaldo Woolridge. His rap persona name is Swiper Boy. So if any of you guys listen to any of the Tennessee songs or, go to football games, you'll hear Swiper Boy playing all the time at the games. Actually, one of my best friends now till this day. But he found me. He was at the show that night. We spoke. We started to build a relationship, and we ended up making music together for the next 5 years. And we were a great combination. We started getting music played on 104.5. We started having artists from Nashville and Atlanta and all these different areas sending us their tracks for us to get on with them, for features, which was a big deal. So with that being said, as we became more and more popular, and luckily with his status as a UT basketball player, we built a lot of connections and met a lot of the right people. So, as with that being said, we were offered the opportunity to open for a lot of big artists, especially when they come to Knoxville. We always had the opportunity to open for all the artists in Knoxville. But one of my favorites that we opened for here in Knoxville was the Yin Yang Twins. We opened up for them, which was at that point in time at the Club New Amsterdam. There was about 1,500 people there. It was a phenomenal show. It turned out to be a blast. But my favorite all-time performance was when we had the opportunity to go to USC out in California and open up for Big Sean at the USC Spring Fest. Now, talk about nerve-wracking, nervous, butterflies in your stomach. I had all that. But it was the greatest experience of my life. I got to meet Big Sean, take pictures with Big Sean. We got to hang out with Big Sean. And then we opened for him before he came out and performed in front of 10,000 people at the Spring Fest. I was so, when I walked out on stage and I seen all those people, my eyes about popped out of my head. I was so nervous, but as soon as the music kicked on, I instantly went into perform mode. After that show, we got so much love, so much attention. It was a big ordeal for us and a big thing for Swiper Boy and myself. So, with that being said, I just wanted to say that if you guys have dreams, then go after them, chase them, make them yours. Because until you try, you'll never know if they are true. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of your guys' stories.